Part 6, General. Inspection of educational institutions. 39. 1. The Minister may cause any educational institution to be inspected at such intervals as he may think fit by persons authorized by him in that behalf, and the Minister shall cause a special inspection of any such institution to be carried out whenever it appears to him that such special inspection is desirable. 2. Any person who prevents a person authorized to carry out any inspection under this section from carrying out such inspection or obstructs him in the course of such inspection shall be guilty of an offense against this section and shall be liable on summary conviction before a resident magistrate, in the case of a first conviction, to a fine not exceeding $40, and in the case of a second or subsequent conviction, to a fine not exceeding $100 or to imprisonment with or without hard labor for a term not exceeding 3 months or to both such fine and such imprisonment. 3. A prosecution for an offense under this section shall not be instituted without the sanction of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Inquiry into management of endowed institutions. 41. The Minister may from time to time cause inquiry to be made and evidence to be taken touching the management of any endowed educational institution and the application of its property and income. 2. The person directed to hold an inquiry under this section shall have the powers and privileges of commissioners under sections 10 and 11 of the Commissions of Inquiry Act, giving commissioners powers to summon and examine witnesses and relating to the duty of witnesses summoned, their expenses, and penalty for contumacy or insult. Approval required for the disposal of property included in endowment. 41. 1. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in any trust, directions or provisions which affect the endowment of any endowed educational institution, any property included in such endowment shall not be encumbered or sold or otherwise disposed of except with the prior approval in writing of the Minister. 2. Any person aggrieved by the refusal of the Minister to give his approval under subsection 1 may appeal therefrom to a judge in chambers. Certificate of age. 42. Where the age of any person is required to be ascertained or proved for the purposes of this Act or any regulations made thereunder or for any purpose connected with the education of such person, then, notwithstanding anything contained in the Registration, Births and Deaths Act, any person shall upon making application to the Registrar General in the prescribed form and upon payment of the prescribed fee which shall not exceed 10 cents be entitled to obtain from the Registrar General a certified copy of the entry in the General Register of Births relating to the person whose age is required to be ascertained or proved. 43. 1. The Minister may make regulations generally for the proper carrying out of the purposes and provisions of this Act, and in particular, but without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing may make regulations. A. For the management and conduct of public educational institutions. V. Specifying the powers and duties of boards of management of public educational institutions and of educational boards. C. Prescribing, subject to such exemptions as may be specified, the standards to which the premises of educational institutions shall conform. D. With respect to the purposes for which the premises of educational institutions may be used. E. Prescribing the amounts to be paid by way of grants in aid or otherwise to any educational institution or any class of educational institution specified in such regulations, and the conditions subject to which any such amounts shall be paid. F. With respect to the appointment, terms of employment, disciplinary control and payment of salaries of teachers, and other personnel in public educational institutions. G. Governing the admission of students to public educational institutions and the discipline of such students. H. specifying, in respect of public educational institutions, the curriculum of study to be observed, the examinations to be taken by students, and such other matters as the Minister may think fit in relation to the grant of certificates of competency to students who pass such examinations. I. Providing for the award of scholarships, exhibitions, bursaries and other financial assistance including loans for further education and higher education, and specifying the conditions subject to which such scholarships, exhibitions and bursaries shall be held or any other financial assistance shall be given. J. Prescribing the particulars to be furnished to the registrar by the proprietors of independent schools, providing for the notification to the registrar of any changes in the particulars so furnished, and specifying the circumstances in which the Independent Schools Committee may direct the registrar to strike any independent school off the register of independent schools in the event of the registrar being unable to obtain sufficient particulars thereof. K. Defining the several categories of students requiring special educational treatment, and making provision as to the special treatment appropriate to the students of each category. L. Prescribing the manner in which disciplinary proceedings may be instituted before the Commission against registered teachers, the procedure to be followed in the conduct of such proceedings and matters incidental to or consequential on such proceedings. M. Prescribing the manner of appealing to the Minister and the Tribunal, and as to the proceedings in any such appeal and matters incidental to or consequential on such proceeding. N. Prescribing anything requiring to be prescribed under this Act. O. With respect to such other matters as may be incidental to or connected with the foregoing. 2. Regulations made under this section shall be subject to negative resolution. 3. The Minister may cause all or any of the regulations made under this section to be bound in a book to be called the Code of Regulations. And thereafter the Minister may, at such times as it may seem to him that by reason of any amendment in the regulations the Code of Regulations ought to be amended or reprinted, direct such amendment to be made or such reprinting to be done. 44. In the exercise and performance of the functions assigned to him by this Act, the Minister shall have regard to the general principle that, so far as is compatible with the provision of efficient instruction and training, and the avoidance of unreasonable public expenditure, the wishes of parents are to be considered in the education of students.